Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our annual Lawrence County Economic Development Corporation and Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. I'd like to thank everybody for participating, and the staff and the board members as well for participating. I'm going to call on Linda Nitsch to give a presentation on the Forward Lawrence annual report.
Yes, thank you very much, Randy. It's good that everyone's here today, and we really are excited about recognizing the accomplishments that we have done here at Forward Lawrence through the LCEDC and the Chamber of Commerce. We want to start out by saying again, what is Forward Lawrence? There we go. All right. Melanie and I have to get our system down pat here. All right, so Forward Lawrence, it's an initiative. We really want to focus on the people, the product, and the place here in Lawrence County. We know that we need to work with businesses to really elevate Lawrence County. And how do we do that? There are 5 main ways that we really think from our Forward Lawrence plan we can really impact the community. Increasing employment opportunities is one that stands out. We know we need to expand our tax base. That's important for our municipalities. Achieving economic stability is also of great importance to us. Our standard of living and our quality of life are all increasing, we hope. And of course, our labor participation rates need to increase. We know our businesses really need to have a strong labor force. Moving forward, we want to talk about what kind of business targets Forward Lawrence really identified. Industry 4.0 is one. That's the 4th industrial revolution. We're looking at automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies to a great degree. Hopefully things like additive manufacturing all become a standard in our community, and that we can grow the community accordingly. Distribution and supply chain, without doubt, warehousing products to distribute within the region is something that has come up again and again with our transportation network here in Lawrence County. Being along I-376, the Turnpike, 79 and 80, we know we can reach over 40% of the businesses and the population in the northern part of the country and up into Canada. When you think about various distribution and supply chain companies, sometimes you don't think of the ones like the Dollar Generals or the Family Dollars, but they need to be able to supply their stores. And our location could act as a hub for things like that. Now, experiential economy. We know that we have numerous visitors that come into Lawrence County as a result of wanting to experience the Amish. We know that we need to even expand that much further, and we need to work with our tourist promotion agency in order to do that. When I see agricultural business and small food processing, I immediately think about dairy farms and the fact that we have our Dairy Farmers of America that is there in Wilmington Township. It is certainly a jewel as far as processing for the cheese, and we should be able to expand further into agricultural activities. Finally, entrepreneurial development. This is something we've been working on now for the last 5 years, and hopefully going forward, it'll be even stronger. But we know that our work with the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, and with Westminster's Entrepreneurial Center should help us in growing our entrepreneurial activities. Moving on, let's talk about our organizations. We are Forward Lawrence, that's our brand, but we know that we have the 2 different entities that we represent. One being the LCEDC, so we're the private nonprofit 501c3 that's certified by the Commonwealth to provide various loans and other programs to enhance our economy and our quality of life here in Lawrence County. From the Chamber's standpoint, we're a private nonprofit that is a 501c6. We can do some lobbying activities, and we know that we need to help the LCEDC with the advancement of our economy. We know that it's important to have new leaders and to keep on developing the leaders that we do have. And we do need strong countywide cooperation. So we've got nearly 24 different supported organizations and programs. And we think that these partnerships have grown over these years, and we hope to continue to grow them, from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to the likes of our Career Link and West Central Job Partnership. We have a variety of different entities that we know are our strong partners in growing our local economy. So what assistance programs do we offer? Public financing is a big one, as well as grant writing, real estate development, our business retention and expansion activities. Environmental assessments are important here, as well as brownfield redevelopment. So what are these recent activities that we've done? Let's start first with Stonecrest Business Park. We're starting in the southern part of the county. You all should recognize the name Stonecrest. That's the golf course located on 18. It is a 200-acre site in New Beaver Borough, not far from the county line with Beaver. And it has been a golf course for a number of years. Mr. John LeCarte, a developer out of Allegheny County, purchased that property a couple years ago, and with our assistance was able to get a $7 million business in our sites loan and grant to help him do site work at the location. Most recently, within the last 12 days, he received a $500,000 RACP grant. That's the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program. That's going to help him fund the construction of a 150,000 square foot multi-tenant building. That total project cost is going to be about $8 million. And he is hoping to get that underway in the spring of 2023. Additionally, then, we know that overall, that 200-acre site actually will be developed into a 100-acre business park. And his belief is that he will have 1.5 million square feet of building space there, which could employ up to 1,000 people. I think it's time to bring John in and have another visit with him. We haven't done that in a while.
His testimonial video of why he chose Lawrence County is actually in this month's Chamber newsletter.
So keep that in mind and please check it out. Next is Steelite International. Steelite, located at Millennium Park there in Neshannock Township. We were successful in assisting them in securing their second RACP grant. We worked with Neshannock Township as well as other partners to obtain a $3.5 million RACP grant. The hope is to start the expansion project on the current building in the spring of 2023. And that project is estimated to cost $7 million. We know that we will be retaining at least the 70 jobs that are created, that are there right now, and hoping to create 10 more positions. Next, the IBEW Apprenticeship Training Facility. What a state-of-the-art facility this is. Hopefully some of you had a chance to go to their open house. It is really a great place, a lot of virtual activities that can go on there, as well as hands-on training for the journeymen that are becoming the electricians. Their training program was so unique that it was awarded the 2022 Pennsylvania Economic Development Association's Program of the Year. They are receiving a third RACP grant. That's another $1 million that's going into this training facility. And the total project cost there is $8 million. Another project that we're looking forward to is Keystone Compliance. They were a recipient of one of our impact awards. We secured a $1.5 million RACP grant to assist them in their expansion project. They're located here in the city of Newcastle at Falls and the Bypass, or the Columbus Intervale, I should say. And they know they had to acquire an additional building. It's across the street. They have a campus that they're creating to even construct another freestanding building. Their total project cost is estimated to be $3.5 million. The Enterprise Park District. This is a multimodal project. It goes from Croton Avenue up to Court Street and encompasses an area where we have the likes of the Wright Building as far as Dawn Services goes, down even into our building. We know that the work that'll go along there is really the infrastructure. It is the sidewalks, it's the roadway. We know we need to improve safety conditions to the point where maybe we could even have a traffic light at the Court Street intersection with County Line if we can get an expansion there. Truck traffic is difficult to navigate in that area of town, and we hope to improve that. We know that the streetscape will be improved, so we'll have a much more attractive location. And with the distillery coming across the street and the activities that Dawn Services is doing, we really think that it's going to improve that entrance into the city. Next is the Pennsylvania Small Business Credit Initiative, SSBCI, another acronym. We've received a grant that we will in turn loan to various businesses. That grant was $1,122,500 to capitalize a new business loan program. We know that we have to have two different programs to satisfy the requirements of the state and federal governments. One will be our very small business revolving loan fund. So you have to have less than 10 employees, and the maximum amount that you could receive in a loan will be $100,000. And there's also the Small Business Equality Revolving Loan Fund. That one can go up to $250,000. So what are we doing about Forward Lawrence itself? We knew that we had to have the program created through Elevate Lawrence County. The action plan includes 3 different components that we've been working on this year. One is to improve the gateways of our Lawrence County business parks. And in a second, we're going to show you a prototype sign that Cerebral Concepts has created. Next, we know that an entrepreneurial center needs to be created that would include a small business incubator and a makerspace. To that end, we are applying for $150,000 Appalachian Regional Commission funding program. That's a pre-app, so hopefully we'll get the funding. Finally, we need to create a consortium of Lawrence County communities so that we can do more in the way of municipal planning and zoning and development. The Lawrence County Planning Office routinely has municipal meetings. They're called the League of Municipalities. They meet 3 times a year, and we want to be a part of that, as well as even expand that into further meetings with us so that we have a good relationship with our municipal leaders. Okay, here's that sign. We think it looks really attractive. The Forward Lawrence logo there being on the top, and then ways that the tenants can be noted on the panel. So time will tell exactly how this is going to be done, but we hope to have it approved for installation in probably the spring to the summer of 2023. So here we are by the numbers. Between 2017 and 2022, which is the 5 years that we've been affiliated together between the Chamber and the LCEDC, we've worked on approximately 64 different projects. It's impacted over 500 jobs. 564 was our best estimate. And project investment was nearly $1 billion. Thank you, Hippie Run. It really helped our numbers look good. And we've worked on 11. Yes, yeah. You've done a lot to help us with that one. And then the real estate projects, approximately 11 of those. We have as one of our partners, the Lawrence County Learning Center. This is a community education council, and Paul here at our office is the manager of this program. We work in conjunction with the Learning Center's Board of Directors, and we had identified the central building as the best location for our facility. That's 2,500 square feet of space. We have multiple classrooms and computer labs. We can hold up to 24 students. We have high-speed Wi-Fi, and this is available free of charge to both businesses and education providers. Yes, Paul? Anything else you want to say?
No, we are actually looking to add programs here. Right now, it's primarily used for GED prep classes and adult literacy. Looking at potentially becoming a college level exam prep center, CLEP. And we needed to upgrade our laptops in order to do that. We've done that now.
Yes, yes. So moving on. All right. Paul also is responsible for doing the business retention program. It's a business call program funded by the Commonwealth, where we proactively go out to meet with our business owners and managers. We know we need to build a solid relationship with our businesses in order to know what their needs are and to build our local economy. So Paul's done 150 meetings with local businesses and organizations over the last 3 years, created over 100 custom action plans, and hosted 6 focus groups. Paul, you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, we had a focus group actually just a few weeks ago right here in this very room. It was more focused on the downtown central business district, but we didn't exclude, limit it to that. And basically trying to get ideas from the small business and merchants as to what kind of help they need, how they were impacted by the pandemic. One of the things I'm trying to do is create a community of small business owners and merchants so they can network, potentially participate in some joint marketing activities, and otherwise try to help our small businesses get off the ground. On that same front, Linda mentioned Westminster's Entrepreneurial Center. We are again partnering with them. They've offered us up to 6 or 8 students, and we've targeted about 10 businesses. They're going to work one-on-one with these students for some customized help under the oversight of myself and Eric Gable, who's the professor there. So we think we're upping our support for small businesses with these kinds of activities.
Yep.
Couple questions.
Yep.
So can you go back to that last slide? So when held more than 150 meetings with businesses and local organizations, when you're helping these small businesses, can you categorize on average or a spectrum of size of number of employees, 1 to 50, or?
There's no real average, Lynn. I mean, it can be a mom and pop, like a small restaurant, or it could be someone like Hall Industries, who we met with just a few weeks ago. The purpose of these meetings to find out what they really need, and then if we can't help them directly, we make referrals to partners like the SBDC or to veterans groups or to CareerLink or something like that. But it's a spectrum of large and small companies. It's not any single one size fits all.
So you said you met with a business or businesses relative to the downtown specifically lately and this year?
Well, we invited the small business and merchants in the area to come to the meeting, yes.
Did you, have you copy pasted that in other municipalities or locale? I understand Newcastle would be the largest, if you will, and let's say Michigan might have some things already going on, but the Union corridor is obviously a little bit different with 224 than
Right.
Main Street here, or is there? I look at a Bessemer with a small village type of environment. So my question, I'm just purely interest in the question is, have there been? Was these meetings, have there been other meetings relative to this?
Yeah, so the 6 focus groups that we talk about, we've tried to be very geographically dispersed with them. So we had them in Elwood City, we had them in Neshannock, had them at the Shenango Industrial Park, a couple here in the city. And the invite typically goes out across the board. The most recent one was particularly an outshoot of the Downtown Business Association. And I did a lot of work to try to gather contact information and get people invited. So you invite 50 people, targeted emails, and we got 10 to show up. So
I think that's a good return.
it's a pretty good return, right? But I understand you're saying, can we replicate this kind of
I didn't even know if
program
it was.
across the board? Yes.
Even more my
And every one of these focus groups, we do a very in-depth part of the presentation talking about these referral partners and the kinds of services, because for everybody has workforce issues right now. So that's always a key factor. But Someone might need site selection, someone might need funding, someone may need help with a marketing plan. So depending on what the need is, we have a business services team where we have representatives from all of these referral partners. So if I'm in a meeting and someone needs help hiring a veteran, I can hand them off to Frank Zielinski without having them call me or having me call them back at a later date. So we have that information at our fingertips.
So if we move on, we're going to see the business service team. That was a perfect segue into this.
Oh,
So you see that we have this collaborative effort, and this is really headed up more by Colleen Chamberlain with the Career Link. And she brings together all of us on a quarterly basis. We have a business service team booklet that identifies everyone. So it's both virtual as well as in print format. You can see that we've got vocational rehab, adult literacy, veteran services. And here it is as far as their logos go, just so you can see that also. So here is your chamber staff right now. There's 6 of us, and we have really melded together. We're a family more than we are just a staff, that's for sure. We support one another. If the activities lean more towards economic development and we need help, the team steps in to help us. When it is more of chamber activities and networking, then we're there to support Lindsay in many ways. All right, so membership tiers for 2023. We have some different tiers, and now we're really excited about these. We've got that new business membership and our small business membership. Lindsay, anything you want to say about this?
No, just we used to charge for grand opening and ribbon cutting, so we found that making a membership has really supported especially the mom and pop and small businesses.
Yes.
So it has been a success so far.
Yep. So Rudy's been sending out the billings, and we're getting a pretty good response, I think, all the way around. So 2022's golf outing. We've got some great photos here. I think that we really had a good time at the Avalon, and we're looking forward to the fact that the Avalon will be fully open this year. June 26th is the date of the 2023 golf outing. Please mark that on your calendar right now. And there will be various ways that our various member benefits can include sponsorships, and Lindsay will be there to help you with making your decisions on these sponsorships. Our impact awards. I'm very proud of the impacts awards and who received them here in 2022, and it'll be great to see who receives them in 2023. So Apple Castle, Elwood Quality Steels, Keystone Compliance, the West Central PA Apprenticeship and Training Committee, Wampum Hardware, all were honorees based upon such a wide criteria. You know, if it is Apple Castle being here for well over 100 years, the impact of the Elwood Quality Steel over the years here. Keystone Compliance, more recent, the Central Apprenticeship Program, also a recent one, and Wampum Hardware, again, someone who has a long heritage in our community. We know that the businesses impact our county, but so do various community champions, such as the May Emma Hoyt Foundation. We're appreciative of the funding that they supply to us. 2 gentlemen who were instrumental in leadership in various ways here in our community were Sam Biasucci and Gil Young received his leadership for board service. Everyone knows Sam was on so many boards and did a lot for our community. And then Bob Del Signor, his leadership in public service, and Amy McKinney received that from the planning office. So some new things that we are trying, or at least renaming them, noontime knowledge events. We had 2 of those. They were previously known as lunch and learns, but moving forward is noontime knowledge, and we are going to have 4 of them at least this upcoming year. And we've had topics such as public finance and social media and marketing, always open to hearing what our businesses need, and we can create a noontime knowledge event to meet that need. Leadership Lawrence County, very proud of this. It is being held now at the Learning Center. We've relaunched it in partnership with Penn State. And Melanie and Paul have really been working on this. Melanie, is there anything you want to say about leadership?
Had to unmute there. Just that it's going very well. We do have a new partnership, like you said, with Penn State Beaver this time around. We have an upcoming session next week. And so far the class seems very engaged. Lindsay is actually a member of the class this year. And our tours will kick up again in January as well.
Okay, thanks. So moving on, we now have our Forward Lawrence Young Professionals. We revitalized that and rebranded it as our Fly Group. And Lindsay's really responsible for organizing these and having these meet and greets and mixers for fun and networking. So Lindsay, if you want to talk about the next one.
Yes, our next one is in January. It's on the 26th at Brew 32, and it's going to be in combination of the Shenango Valley, the young professionals of the Valley.
So that's great. PA Business Week, this is a program that is given through the ACES program. It is to encourage our young high school seniors. This occurs at the city of Newcastle's Newcastle High School, and they have business simulations. Paul was one of the advisors there. And Paul, what do you think?
It was a good program. The entire senior class participates. They're broken out into teams of, I think there were 9 teams of maybe 15 or 20 kids. They're assigned a project to come up with a product based on a theme. I think it was lunchboxes and timepieces this year. And then they go through the management decision process of how much to spend on marketing, advertising, and there's a simulation game that they play to come up with who can get the best bottom line. In addition, they have to put together a presentation, do kind of a live TV commercial, come up with marketing materials, and they're essentially given paper and glue and tape to come up with these product prototypes. So for many of these kids, it's the first time they're exposed to any kind of business activities. They get to hold offices from the CEO all the way down to one of the staff workers. So very well received. It's a really rewarding experience, and I think the kids enjoy it. It's a very memorable part of their high school.
All right, Forward Lawrence Media. Proud of the fact that we have now our Forward Lawrence News. That's that monthly e-newsletter that Melanie works very hard on to give you information of value on the region, the community, member benefits. It reaches over 1,500 subscribers. Then the Tuesday Grind. Lindsay's gives us her weekly blog, and whether it's local events or special days, lifestyle tips, that you will find in your emails on Tuesday mornings. Chamber Chat, that's our video series that's hosted by Paul. And as he stated, John LeClark is who is in our Chamber Chat series this month. Very interesting to learn more about what's going on with these leaders. And finally, LawrenceCounty.com is rebranded as of October 2022 into Forward Lawrence's website. And staff is working on that to have the member directory, the events calendar, and all the resources for economic development in that website. Social media presence. Lindsay, how about you talk about this for a minute?
Melanie and I are a good team when it comes to the social media. This year, we have really upped our YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn posting consistently. And if Melanie goes to the next one, it'll prove that our Facebook reached over 49,000, almost 50,000 people this year. And when I came on a year and a half ago, it was practically not even being used. So that's good audience reach. And our YouTube with Paul and Melanie's our chamber chat videos have reached over 2,000 views this year, which is also great. We had 180 new followers this past year on Facebook.
All right, grand openings. Hey, we have a dozen that we were a part of. So whether it is the coffee shop at 333 Apothecary in the Shannon Township, Kelly's Tavern in Shenango Township. Who else? The Cornerstone, which is adjacent to our office and has some great barbecue there. Valentino Cheese, that's where you get your basket cheese, right, Paul? Popeyes. Loretta could do a commercial. That picture of her is just something else. And the commissioners are very supportive of all of these ribbon cuttings and grand opening. Realty one, yes.
I'd like to make a plug for Popeyes. I don't know if you've ever tried their turkeys at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They sell turkeys and they're excellent. So
Wow.
just, if you're ever looking for something to do different for Thanksgiving, they're very good.
Like whole turkeys.
Whole turkeys, they buy it frozen. They're flash fried or something like that. So they're cooked. You just have to kind of heat them up, but they're delicious.
Oh, that's good to know. All right. All right, Realty one, and then we go into the Cascade Galleria where Lock and Key has opened up, as well as the Warner Cascade Theater. We had the grand opening there. The new Wilmington Nutrition, and then also Bones and Stones, another one in the Galleria. And Georgetown Eats. You know, we were talking about the fact that we need some kind of experiential activities. And this one, I think their goal is to have farm to table experience. It is out in Plain Grove Township, and it's an interesting place. I've never been out on Georgetown Road before, but I was a few weeks ago, so that was
And
great.
it's an Allegheny County couple that decided to relocate and open a business here, so that's a piece of good news there as well.
Yes, yeah. We have a young notary, Kristen Mitchell, who also had a grand opening. All right, and here are our upcoming events. So Fly, the annual dinner, March 16th, 2023. Stay tuned for that. And we have our full list of events and activities that you will find. Is it on the website, Lindsay? Very good. Okay, all right. Hey, we don't want to forget to thank all of our members, and our Transform level members really help us out a lot. There's a dozen of them here, and I think you can read them all. It is really appreciated, the funding that you will all provide to the organization so that we can help to do good work. And now we're coming to the election of the board members. So we made sure we had their pictures there in case you didn't know them. And Randy and Lisa, I'll let you two take over.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Linda. Thank you for delivering that presentation, and to the entire staff for all of the work that they've done this year. It's been a challenging year, but I do feel that it's been one of the most enjoyable things has been working with the staff and the engagement, because I do feel that there's a lot of enthusiasm, and I think we're going to make considerable progress in 2023. When I think of this organization overall, and I've been involved in the merged organization since 2017, I do see it as somewhat of an intersection of private and public organizations. And we don't have that opportunity to do that often. So it is our opportunity to discuss the needs of the entire community, the entire county. And there's different, just looking around in a handful of organizations here that are represented, they're very diverse. Schools, power companies, manufacturing, and that's just a handful of people in here. So this is our chance to try to make a difference in Lawrence County, and if we all work together, we can do that. So with that being said, I'm the Chamber of Commerce president, and at this point, we were soliciting votes for Tom McKinley, who's the Chief Technology Officer of Ohana Link. Tom is going to be a Class 4 Board of Director nominee. We have received enough votes to appoint him to the board. We require 40% of the membership vote, which we received. But we also want to ask if there's anybody who hasn't had the opportunity to vote yet, if they would like to offer their vote. And Just looking for names at this point. Anybody that would like to submit their name voting for Tom.
Yes, Randy, this is Robert. I also would like to cast my vote for Tom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else at this point?
Yeah, hey Randy, this is John Kernan. I already cast my vote. I just want to express to the group and to Tom how fortunate we are to have him be part of our organization.
I could not agree more. All right, well, thank you. Now I'll call on Lisa to do the LCEDC portion.
All right, well, I just want to echo what Randy said. I think we've made a lot of progress this last year. We're really looking forward to what comes in 2023. I think we've got a good game plan to move the group forward. And we do have a vote here for Judy Schaefer for president. She's president of Elwood Quality Steel. It would be a class 4 board of directors seat on the Economic Development Corporation. We do have enough votes for Judy, but I'd like to call out now if anyone else would like to vote for Judy.
Hi, this is Robert again. I also would like to cast a vote in favor of Judy. Thank you.
Any others?
Hey, Lisa, it's Sam Houston. I would also like to cast my vote. I did mine for Tom via email.
Great, thanks.
And Lisa, this is John Kernan. Just so that Judy doesn't feel slighted, I'd also like to express how unbelievably fortunate we are to have somebody of her stature representing such a great company and serving on our board.
Thank you, John. Welcome, Judy. Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you. Well, and the only thing I would say at this point is that's all you have. It is if there's anybody who would like to ask any additional questions or offer any comments. Okay, well, thank you very much for attending this meeting. We appreciate it and wish everybody a happy holiday season and a good start to 2023.